Before I start,
a couple of announcements, and we'll get right to the governor's talk. I want to remind you, he's been to teach Sunday school. He was a very good governor. I think he's the best governor we've ever had. He did an awful lot, made a awful lot of people mad. And that happened to me too. But he did the right thing, and we very much appreciate the governor taking his time to come see us. We welcome Gov Barnes.
Thank you, Dan. When I was just telling several folks over here when I was getting ready for this, my secretary said, you know, after I went through, I got pictures and other things that I won't pass around, said, you know, you've only got an hour. I promised to keep that. And I noticed Cliff's job was to hang the mail every morning and pick up the mail every afternoon when he came through. And I noticed that Cliff would go down there. I'd watch him, you know, at the back of the store. Back then, you know, I had to sort bottles, you know, Coca-Cola bottles, you know, because you had to turn them in. I remember that. 6 for a quarter, you know, and but you got your deposit back, you know, and all that other stuff. And so we had to sort them for the Coca-Cola folks and the knee-high folks and the RC folks and the Pepsi-Cola folks. I was on the back there, and I'd always be sorting bottles, and I'd watch Cliff go pick up the mail and hang the mail in the morning. And then over time, I noticed that Cliff would sit in the parking lot between the two stores late of the evening, and different folks would get in his truck and then get out. In, out, in, out. So one afternoon, I slid down the railroad to watch Cliff. And what Cliff had done is, where there was a railroad bank there, and it was, he had dug out a place in the railroad bank, and he laid leaves and all on it. And what it was, he had white liquor. So ever how many folks that wanted liquor, when he picked up the mail, I always thought it was ironic as hell, but you know, here's the government fellow picking up the mail and bringing non-tax-paid whiskey. But anyway, he would put the liquor up under the seat, you know, and they'd wrap it in a piece of newspaper, because it was in a quart or a pint bottle. And so that went on. And so I watched, and that's where I found out. So I was going home one night with Daddy. We didn't close till 9 o'clock. And if there's somebody still coming in, Daddy stayed. I mean, I've been at that store at 11 o'clock at night. And so I got in the truck and I said, Daddy, I said, I followed Cliff down there. And I said, Cliff selling liquor. He said, the best thing you can do is keep your mouth shut and out and down there. He said, what Cliff does is none of your business. And anyway, never was caught. In Austell and Mapleton on Bankhead Highway, there was found a dead Martian. And there was a big burn spot like a flying saucer had landed. Big round thing, it was just black. And everybody was on I remember the picture on the front page of the newspaper. There's a police officer, it may have been John Lee, and he had the light on the Martian, you know. It looked like a little fella, I mean, just a little, and he was dead. And it was this big thing. And so it caused panic everywhere, and so they thought the Martians had landed. Well, they sent the Martian to the state crime lab. He's still there, by the way. I go by to see him. He's in formaldehyde in the lobby. And so they went and they did an autopsy on him. And he wasn't a Martian, he was a chimpanzee. Somebody had killed and had shaved the chimpanzee. And they had burned this big thing around the liver. Well, then the story began to unwind. There was a barber down there by the name of Waters, I believe his name was. And he had bet, Waters found him, you know. He had bet this fellow $10 that he could be on the front page of the Atlanta paper in 1 week. And he says, you gotta bet. He was on the front page of the newspaper within 1 week. Well, Luther Haynes was so mad. He was a solicitor. He wanted to prosecute. Now, it got to be so bad, Waters had to leave town. I mean, we were ready to burn his house. I mean, you know, imagine all those we were hot, and it was in the middle of the summer. The uncles wouldn't let us go play ball and all that sort of stuff. I mean, we were ready to burn his house. So Luther looked everywhere, trying to find something to prosecute him on. And so he couldn't find anything, and he finally indicted him for littering. And the fella came up, he had to pay a lot more than the $10. He won, and he had to pay it and everything else. But every few years, I go by to look. That monkey is still, it's in formaldehyde, as I said, in the lobby of the GBI crime lab, and they've got the whole story written. The day that the Martians landed in Maple. The last word is to you, we've had everything that known to man in Mapleton, even including the Martians, and we call them all. Thank you so much. As I got, it was on Thursday night, just total up all the tickets, because people got paid on the weekend.
I'm sure.